It's time for Lights, Camera, McCarthy.
Yes.
With us now, fresh from New York. How you doing?
Good to see you.
Welcome back.
All right, good to see you. So we have an interview right now with Jennifer Lopez and Sterling K. Brown. There's a new movie hitting Netflix on May 24th called Atlas. And the movie actually explores AI, artificial intelligence, which is very timely considering Hollywood was just on a strike all about this. But one of the things that's interesting about this film is a line in the film that Jennifer Lopez has. Her character's a data analyst who essentially is on the run to try and track down a rogue AI. But the whole movie kind of balances this concept of whether or not AI is a good or bad thing, or can we find a bridge in the middle. And one of the things that's interesting about the film is her character deals with this idea of, there's a line in the film where a character says to her, one of your greatest weaknesses is your vanity. So I spoke to Jennifer Lopez and Sterling K. Brown about the idea of vanity in this business of being an actor and what that means to them in terms of being on screen. Take a look.
You know, to be honest, one of the things I love about being an actor for me, and I don't know that it's like this for everybody, as much as I love the glam part of it and getting dressed up and doing all of that stuff, and yeah, I like my hair, I color it, I like Atlas, I have Greg hair, I do color it. You know, there's that part of the vanity, but what I love about being an actor is that that all goes away when I'm acting. There's no vanity involved. I have to be willing to make a fool of myself. I have to be willing to, you know, be snotty and ugly and crying. I have to be willing to really do whatever the role requires of me, no matter how unattractive that is. And I love that part of them. I love that part of acting. You know what I mean? Really getting into the ugly parts, not just on the physical, but inside of who we are. And that, to me, is the thrill of acting and performing for me. So it's funny, I don't think of that as part of the actual work. I think of that as part of the actual part of show business, where you have to present. And you have to kind of like, and even now on social media where everybody's kind of, you know, face tuning themselves and doing all this stuff and putting your best foot forward and all of that kind of, that does have a vanity to it, right? But when you talk about the art of things, when you talk about music or films or acting or performing, even when I'm performing on stage, I am giving 100% of myself with no vanity. In a way, if you can understand what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense?
I think like I'm gonna change it just slightly, because I think when you are an artist, a dancer, an actor, whatever, your body is sort of the instrument that allows you to enter into whatever world you are. So you want to take care of it. You want to try to preserve it and so that you can use it for as long a period of time as possible. So I think there's healthy vanity in terms of just like making sure that this instrument
is working,
can be used for a long time. That's my take.
Well, that's awesome. Well, they're wrapping me up. Congratulations.
Right, interesting question, though.
All right, Jennifer Lopez and Sterling K. Brown are in Atlas May 24th. Sterling K. Brown gives an amazing, powerful answer about artificial intelligence. We'll have that coming up on DMV Zone today in the 3 o'clock hour, where we're going to discuss kind of this balance that this movie finds of AI. Both J-Lo and him talk about it from an artistic perspective, but Sterling's answer about AI is really one of the most powerful answers I've gotten in a long time. So tune in today on the DMV Zone in the 3 o'clock hour. Sterling really opens up in that part of the interview.